Community Creature Final Vote. Official server rental update. And could we be seeing Genesis content in ARK Survival Ascended? You right, kids, it's Raasclark and welcome to your regular ARK community news. Before we begin, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, share around, and let's get into it. So the community crunch just dropped, revealing, yes, the community creature vote has ended the original initial vote round and has now entered into its second phase, picking the top 10 creatures for you to decide in order of your most favourite to your least favourite, and hitting the submit button, which I'll leave a link to this in the description. But what are these creatures? Well, first up, the Gigantophis, the Constrictor and Egg Tyrant. Whilst with this and every creature in this list have a plethora of cool abilities pitched, you need to be voting these based on their aesthetics only. We know in previous votes that the abilities never come to fruition, so take what's offered with a pinch of salt. But a giant sea snake nonetheless, almost a leviathan, nod to our current fantasy vote that we're doing at the moment, could be a refreshing one, a massive snake outgrowing the basilisk easy, and perhaps introducing some other abilities we haven't seen with the basilisk yet, though I do feel perhaps we've got the basilisk. What could this offer that couldn't? Next up, the return of the Bastion Beetle. We saw this in previous votes with some awesome interesting abilities such as a mounted turret as it flies around, an armoured multi-purpose cargo haul that could carry perhaps a lot of weight, fly in the air, drop enormous piles of dung for your pooping needs. And I'd expect something like this to be very, very tanky indeed. Perhaps a new PvP meta if it was introduced. Next up, the Gigantoraptor. True to the name, a giant raptor indeed. Who loves raptors? Everybody does. How about a big one in your life that scares the living bejesus out of you, as a Gigawood in the form of a much feathery, knobbly head-looking version of the raptors we love. With some great work on this pitched dossier with some interesting abilities such as nursing advantages, but I would personally like to see this if it was in being able to pounce like a raptor can. Imagine that, a giant thing pouncing on your larger creatures and eating them to death. Then watch out, watch out, watch out. Arachnophobias everywhere. The Jumper, a jumping spider it seems to be. The fuzzy jumping spider trunk bowler mover Eureka. I guess it says the name on the tin. Something I wish we had seen explored more that we've seen in mods before. Spiders that can bowler, however you say bowler people or creatures in a spidery fashion that it should, clinging them inside a web, but also being able to jump. A spider to jump would be a very cool addition indeed. Again, something we saw in mods out there before, but it would be great to see something that could actually jump. These things, jumping spiders, can certainly jump in the shape that they are, in the size that they are. Imagine it on a bigger scale, and very hairy, very ugly, very scary. At night, I'm sure I would be sleeping this with it pursuing me still in my nightmares. Once again, returning to the vote, the Gorgonops, a fan favourite, being that it's been in every creature vote so far, and it is a very cool looking creature in concept, I guess perceived to be much stronger saber-tooth with pitched abilities such as extreme heat, making it increasing in power, and a scent ability to find death worms and oases quicker. Love it that you've created a spin on this for Scorched Earth, because yes, one of these creatures will be arriving to Scorched Earth, and the first DLC community voted exclusive creature coming to ARK Survival Ascended. Next up, the Phasolasuchus, looking to have armor and bone-crushing jaws just as ferocious as the T-Rex, able to grip and hold its prey firmly in place. Hairy crocodile, anyone? I get a feeling of this being a perhaps more upgraded version of the thorny dragon, something a bit more ferocious that could stand toe-to-toe against the Rex with a decent enough scale to it, some decent claws on it. Would be cool to see a relation to the Thorny Dragon on Scorched Earth. Kind of like this one. Well, I'm definitely going to butcher the name of this one. The Ledum Ahadi Akuti, the brutal brawler of Scorched Earth. Pitched to be a bit of a boxer, ground-pounding creatures, and it seems terrain to gain resources on top. Like the style of it, like another theropod in ARK. I'm always down for having another theropod. I know a few people aren't, but it seems to be, bipedal. It has two forms where you can stand on all four legs, and I'm guessing run more faster if you choose to, or stand up a bit, I guess, like a Spino now I'm thinking about it, but with a Punch Fury combo on top. Could be cool, wouldn't complain if I saw this one win the top 10. And the Armadillosuchus, the roller beast of Scorched Earth as it's being pitched. I guess you can simply summarize this as Dode, but bigger, meaner, almost a bit roll ratty. I guess that it could have the same features as the two of them. Something big that rolls, but yes, as pitched, could roll in any direction than just one clean run in one way, though I could see that being a bit OP for PvP. But, you know, an armadillo, Scorched Earth, a very fitting thing to vote for if you wanted it. A Mega Raptor, once again, who doesn't like raptors that are bigger than the raptors that we see at the moment? This one's a mega one, with some pitched abilities such as using, I guess, Wyvern Talons to do different things to it, like inflamed debuff, attack speed, increased stuns, and torpidity gain, decreasing armor. Looking to work in a theropod stance, seemingly to be a bit of a fast-looking creature. Not too big, it seems, though, you know, it's bigger than the raptors we know so far, and I'm down for that. And finally, the giant moa. Gonna be very careful how I talk about this one, because obviously a good friend of mine is pitching this one, and yeah, no, I think a platform saddle, a new platform saddle creature is well overdue. And again, if it was pitched, if it was introduced with a platform saddle, yeah, definitely going for it. But it's very fitting to the map, something that would seemingly move pretty damn fast and have some pitched abilities in this lovely looking dossier, such as helping to incubate eggs. But again, a very fitting choice for a Scorched Earth map. I really do think we need a faster runner, as found with the Carnos in the Paleo mod that we had on Monarchy Season 3. And in fact, even top dev Dolly might have said something about it herself, but I don't want to create any influence on this. We know how that goes. If people influence, you don't look good. So I don't want to be that guy. And if you want to vote, go to this place here. Again, I will leave a link to this in the description. And I'll tell you my top favourite creature at the end of this. Though all of them are great submissions, I genuinely wouldn't be too bothered about seeing any of these on the map. I think they're all great additions, and good luck to all of the finalists. Speaking of the devs speaking, well, yeah, they spoke. They broke their silence after this initial ARK Survival announcement, where, you know, a lot of people weren't happy, to say the least, and the devs were very quiet following that. Nobody said a single word to anyone in any reply since then. But finally, something has been mentioned by the devs, and addressing the official server save download scheme, whereby once the servers close down at the end of August to, we assume, repurpose for ARK Survival Ascended, the Unreal 5 upgrades, you can download those official servers in a particular save day and then use those saves for your unofficial servers or single player. It was mentioned once again by top dev Dolly that they will be making official server saves available for people to run on their own setups or rented servers, and they're going to be doing hopefully 2 at different intervals. So perhaps you could be seeing a save file from today and another one from later on in a few months' time, perhaps during August, that you can pick and choose to use that save for your unofficial servers. Something that we mentioned to the lovely Phoenix family that we spoke to earlier in the week through Dino Vote, who weren't themselves aware of this scenario. I think the devs need to make that very clear that opportunity is still there, open to people to do. I know it's not the best solution, but it's something at the very least. I'm even hearing communities of people from official are wanting to create their own unofficial communities with a bunch of servers to carry on playing as they intended to, following their official playthrough, I guess. How it's going to work exactly, I'm not going to comment on that just yet. Whilst there is a system in place where you can download your original legacy servers from way back, they might introduce something new with these server saves. So I think it's best to hold on, hold fire until we get word from the devs on how we can do this. So stay tuned on that. But something else Dolly did bring up when I did a search, and I guess in a weird stalker fashion went through everything Dolly had said in the last few days. Well, ARK Survival Ascended, as far as we know it, is dropping with only the island and Scorched Earth, leading a lot of us to think, well, we're missing out on a lot of content from later maps, and it's just a bit of a pity. What else is going on? Are we going to see any new changes, anything new introduced when those maps arrive? Or will it be just the same content we know from those maps as we know them so far? Well, in a reply to somebody asking, will the Maywing be available at the launch of ASA, Dolly did reply, we're looking at some quality of life additions from later DLCs in ARK Survival Evolved that we may add at the start of ARK Survival Ascended, not locked in yet. So take it with a pinch of salt, whilst there's a bunch of other features being offered with this new Unreal 5 version of ARK. It would be cool to see some things, but perhaps not impacting the primitive style of play we get to experience with ARK Survival Ascended. Let's be honest, there's a very weird split on people that liked all the tech stuff and people that didn't like all the tech stuff. I've got to admit, I am perhaps on the latter party, wanting a more, if I'm going to play this again on Unreal 5, a more primitive journey that leads me eventually to tech later on. And if we can introduce a few things, a few elements, I'm guessing perhaps we're going to expect cryopods from the off, loadouts, things like that that perhaps don't impact a more primitive experience. And I'm looking forward to it on that basis. There's been no further word on the backlash since the revised announcement on the price. So I'm assuming perhaps that's it, and what's been offered, that's what to expect now. I know a few videos have been going out since then and highlighting certain areas, one in particular, Overwolf. There's a lot of concern surrounding this. I did mention this in our first video about ARK Survival Ascended, with some people telling me that there was a lot of concerns surrounding spyware and other very concerning features. And I would hope that Wildcard are very aware of this, and if they are going to be partnering with Overwolf, that whatever they deliver, they will have that in mind when they do deliver. Please, fingers crossed, that does happen. Svartalfheim, a mod map that we've covered in depth, did a 100 days playthrough on it, did a video quite recently on it. Well, it's just hit its 100% completion update by Fjorda creator Nakatus. As tweeted, the last big content update for Svartalfheim is here, and his third map is now finished. What was the first one, Nakatus? With some great additions in the patch notes, such as a new underground dwarven kingdom, new combat music, beehives, a Dinopithecus King boss fight, oh my word! But to help complete a great map that I've really enjoyed playing, I will go and check this out as soon as I can, and I'm sure, I hope that you who are available to do so, go and check it out yourselves. I'll leave a link to that in the description. And finally, it was great to see Wildcard shouting out Monarchy, and Kaya's video recapping seasons 1, 2 and 3, covering our cinematics that we've created over the course of, wow, like getting on 2 years now of our journeys, travels, adventures across a number of maps, and, well, leaving us off as where are we going next? Only we know. You'll find out soon enough. I can't wait to share what we've got prepared for Monarchy Season 4. A few new people joining us, a few new interesting features for this, I guess, final send-off for ARK Survival Evolved before we jump on ARK Survival Ascended, and I'll see you there when that happens. Until the next one, my name's Raasclark. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and as always, peace out.